Welcome on back to Skippers. I know it has been really tough to find good pitching to start this season in fantasy baseball, but I have 3 players I think are in good buy low spots to help your team. This video is sponsored by So Rare MLB. Please subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. Let's get into the 3 players. First buy low player I think is going to be Nick Ladolo of the Reds. His stats this season, he's 2-1, a 6.31 ERA. He has 37 strikeouts, a 1.87 whip in 25 and 2/3 innings pitched. We just came off a second straight blow up start for Nick Ladolo against the Rangers last night. In his last 2 starts, Nick Ladolo has thrown 8 2/3. He has given up 21 hits, 5 home runs, and 14 earned runs. This is a horrible stretch for someone who had Ladolo's hype heading into this season, but all we have to do is look past that to his first 3 starts to see why he had that hype. He had only 4 earned runs over his first 17 innings pitched and 27 strikeouts in that time. The main thing for me is that the expected stats love Nick Ladolo, and he seems like the easiest buy low in fantasy baseball, and someone you should definitely be throwing a feeler offer out to that manager in your leagues. To start, Ladolo is allowing a batting average on balls in play of .478, which is nuts. This season, the league-wide batting average on balls in play is .296. When looking at how to project for the future for pitchers, again, I like to look at xFIP and Sierra. Those are usually the best indicators, and Nick Ladolo has an xFIP of 313, which is in the 89th percentile, and that's a stat that gives you numbers as if his home run to fly ball rate was at the league average, and yes, he is a long way from being league average in that category as he currently sits in the 8th percentile, but his Sierra also sits at 338. Nick Ladolo's expected ERA is almost 2 runs lower than his actual ERA, and he has the highest differential from weighted on base average to expected weighted on base average of any starter in the league. Nick Ladolo has a strikeout rate just outside the top percent of the league. He's actually getting more swings and misses out of the zone than last season, and hitters are actually making less contact. But a big problem, his first pitch strike percentage is down over 11 points. I don't want to be giving up a ton to get Nick Ladolo at this point, but the stats are telling you you should probably be buying instead of giving up on him. Second buy low spot is going to be Nathan Avaldi of the Rangers so far this season. He's 2-2, 5.2 ERA, 31 strikeouts, a 1.41 whip, and 27 1/3 innings pitched. On the surface, I don't think Nathan Avaldi's had a horrible start to the season. He had a disastrous start against the Royals 2 weeks ago, and I think that's why some of these numbers look so inflated. But once again, when you look into some of the underlying numbers, Avaldi is someone that you want to look at buying. To start, he's been able to keep the ball in the yard, only having 1 home run hit off him in his 5 starts. By keeping the ball in the yard but still getting hit, he's had his batting average on balls in play skyrocket to levels we haven't seen before, and this is also going to hurt your whip for your leagues. Nathan Avaldi is once again limiting free passes. He's been in the top 5% of the league in walk rate over the last 4 years, and he's at that same number to start this season. He's also running the highest strikeout percentage of his career at 26.3%. Although he's giving up hard contact, that's in the 23rd percentile, he's still only given up 2 barrels for a barrel rate at a very low 2.5%. Again, we're looking for some batting average on balls in play regression. His batting average on balls in play against the season is .413, which is super high. For context, his career average batting average on balls in play against is 100 points lower at .312. Avaldi's expected ERA sits at .376, while he currently has an xFIP of .306. He's had a tough time stopping people from scoring as his left on base rate is at 59.5% so far this season, but his career average is 71.5%. His called strike and whiff rate of 32.3% is 18th best amongst qualified starters, and if the manager of Nathan Avaldi is worried about his numbers to start the season, I would love to acquire him. Today's video is brought to you by So Rare MLB. On So Rare MLB, you can build a fantasy baseball dynasty and win amazing rewards with So Rare's revolutionary fantasy MLB game. This game transforms baseball fans into general managers. Visit the marketplace to buy, sell, and trade digital player cards to boost your team and progress to advanced competitions with once-in-a-lifetime prizes like merch, game tickets, and VIP packages. So Rare is a free-to-play daily fantasy game where you score points based on the real-life performance of the players in your lineup. When you first sign up for So Rare MLB, you'll get to draft 10 common cards to begin your collection. You'll need to draft 3 starters, a relief pitcher, 2 corner infielders, 2 middle infielders, and 2 outfielders. You're able to enter enter into modified points league based tournaments for each game week, where you're able to win prizes determined by how many points your roster scores. So Rare MLB uses a bi-weekly tournament schedule with each game week spanning a 3 to 4 day cycle. At the end of the game week, if your team performed well enough in your tournaments, you'll earn rewards in the form of new So Rare MLB cards to add to your collection and strengthen your team for the next tournaments. Make sure you click the link in our bio to start playing So Rare MLB today. The last player I'm thinking about buying low on, I don't know how the managers of Logan Webb are feeling, but I think they might not be too happy with the start. Logan Webb, he is 1-4, 4.40 ERA. He has 36 strikeouts, a 1.14 WHIP, and 30 2/3 innings pitched. Logan Webb is tied for the most losses in all of baseball and has given up 6 home runs in his 5 starts. His home run to fly ball ratio is off the charts at 28.6%, while having an average launch angle at only 2.8 degrees. He's mostly a sinker ball guy, and he has a ground ball rate that's in the 90th percentile. The math just isn't adding up for me of how his start to the season has gone. He's giving up the most home runs of his career, despite being 15 percentage points better than the average major league pitcher at getting ground balls, pitching in a park that ranks 5th last in park factor for home runs. Logan Webb is running the best strikeout rate of his career, which is 22nd best amongst starters, the 12th best walk rate amongst starters, and he has the 9th best called strike and whiff rate. His expected ERA is a run lower at 3.45, and he has a shiny xFIP of 2.56. I'm shocked at the amount of home runs he's given up, and he's already halfway to last year's total, where he gave up 11 home runs in 192 innings. He will give up some hard contact, but that's okay when the majority of those baseballs are hit directly into the ground. The sinker and his slider aren't getting enough swing and miss for what he needs right now. His sinker is getting a ton of called strikes. Hitters are giving up on it early and taking that pitch, and he's throwing one of the better changeups in the league. I think Logan Webb has just had some weird things going on for him to start this season with the outcomes, and I'm going to count on Logan Webb to bounce back here very soon. Those are 3 pitchers I am hoping to buy low on at this point in the season. Let me know what you guys think of these guys. Anyone else you're trying to buy low on, thank you So Rare MLB. Subscribe, join the Discord, and I'll see you guys later in the week.